Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the dreaded D-Rose report. Got a bunch of news, better get started. Friends of Mickie James indicate she's not interested in getting involved with anything wrestling related for the time being. However, TNA Dixie Carter is very interested in signing Mickie and is expected to offer her a contract once her Mickie's 90-day contract, non-compete clause with WWE expires. But I think Mickie's hoping that her album takes off and she can go do some touring, promoting of the album. She won't land on her butt that often doing that. At this past week's TNA taping, the company planted a very attractive woman posing as a fan in the front row. Watch. WWE's camera crew was present at FCW developmental taping this past Thursday in Florida. They were apparently filming a show for some vignette footage, I guess, for Season 2 of NXT. And it appears that Tamina and the Usos won't be bringing their WWE developmental stablemate to Raw with them. At the FCW live event this past week, the trio appeared with their partners Brodus Clay and Donnie Marlowe. Marlowe said that he and Portis will be holding down the FCW for while Jimmy, I guess Jules and Tamina take over WWE. Tamina refers to their stable as the Polynesian Power Package. Oh, but it's unknown if they're going to use the same, name on Raw. Which I hope they don't. I'll be spitting all over the place every time I do one of these updates. I do anyway. Dixie Carter announced on her Twitter that TNA Knockout Angelina Love and Daffney have been medically cleared to return to the ring. Mick Foley will be doing stand-up comedy June 10th at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, my fault. Ric Flair, in an interview with the UK this week, said he will be wrestling in the TNA tour this 2011, I guess is when it starts. And Flair also said he's the happiest he's ever been since 1986 because TNA lets him be himself, something WWE didn't let him do. Flair said that TNA will have as much awareness as WWE in 6 months and noted that Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan are with the company for the long haul. And that's probably Hogan coming up to the ring. And he got out of surgery, by the way, on his back, in good shape. Former lead announcer Jim Ross finally provided some insight into his new contractual relationship with World Wrestling Entertainment. In the blog he had Friday, Ross said that it's a win-win employee agreement primarily positions him as a talent relations consultant for the company, which I thought he was doing that all along anyway, and plus announcing. Going forward, he said, I'll be focused on a variety of talent relations matters, essentially as a consultant, which will not require weekly travel, Ross said. I'll be visiting FCW in Tampa. And that travel on a regular basis and observe the developmental of young men and women down there. Hope all the headlines someday at WrestleMania. So anyway, he goes on and talks about this and that. He has no plans to return to on-air in WWE, although involved in other WWE broadcast projects. It's a possibility. Of course, Vince told his stockholders he'll never be back in the ring again. Anyway, the announcers are also finalizing a deal to make freelance contributions to mainstream sports websites. Am I one? I doubt it. Ross confirms the deal allows him to do broadcasting on non-competitive areas such as MMA and things like that. Of course, he can't go over to TNA to do anything. Alright, Survivor producer Bruce Beresford Redmond, he's accused of murdering his wife while working on a reality show with former WWE's diva Stacy, remember her? Miss Kitty Carter, before being accused of murder. They're going to blame that on WWE somehow, I know they are. TMZ reports that Bruce contacted Carter a few years ago and recently began filming on the show that focused on her transitions from pro wrestling to life as a real estate broker. Carter and the wrestling stars such as Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Greg Valentine, Al Snow, Jimmy Hart had filmed a bunch of footage for her show, but now Beresford Redmond's in trouble and the show probably won't make it to the TV. Redmond won't make it to the TV either unless it's in a dorm. Asheville, North Carolina, looks like Citizen Times spoke to Edge, who recently moved into the area to promote an upcoming Raw live event there. Edge said the following. He says, "I'm up to my 20th year, and I've definitely had some of the injuries and have shortened my career. That's part of the reason I was brought up here. I want to retire and listen to the wind in the trees and want to do it fairly soon. I have 2 years more," he says. "With each injury, it's harder and harder to come back." See ya! Here's a spoiler-free preview about tonight's Impact. Roxy takes on the new knockout, Rosie Lotta Love. AJ Styles takes on versus Kazarian versus Jay Lethal. Don't know what kind of match that is. Three-way, I'm sure. Rob Van Dam versus Sting versus Matt Morgan, Samoa Joe. Then Mr. Anderson versus Robert Roode, Desmond Wolfe, and Orlando Jordan versus Abyss with Chelsea and Rob Terry. Anyway, WWE superstar Chris Jericho has been booked as the host of ABC's new summer game show Downfall, THR reports late Wednesday night. Jericho, one of the most prominent superstars, will MC festivities for the 6th episode series in that premiere on June 22nd, which I've never seen before in my life, never heard about it. Anyway, set to receive lead-in support from sturdy summer performers, Wipeout Downfall is a trivia game show with contestants answering questions for like the largest conveyor belt in the world can be seen on TV, things like that. Memorial Day holiday did a little to weaken Raw's rating, by the way. The Ashton Kutcher, non-showing up Ashton Kutcher, by the way, hosted edition of Raw scored fairly steady 3.2. Off the highs 3.11 and 3.32. That's the way it went. A little over, let's see how many million. I don't know. 4.5 million people. Cobble, the internet darling, who is clearly getting the Daniel Bryan treatment on season 2 of NXT, received praise from John Cena on his Twitter early Wednesday. Oh, too much heroin. Cena wrote after seeing profiles of NXT 2, says, "Keep an eye on Cobble, I see something there." I don't. Devin sent out this, by the way, due to scheduling conflicts, SmackDown World Tour live event scheduled for Saturday, July 10th in the Kinsey Arena has been postponed until Friday. Anyway, May 29th episode of AM Raw did a 0.686 rating, about 1 million people. Alright, the IWF Independent Promotion announced today that WWE is signing, I think I told you about that, the Arabian Bull. Maybe I didn't. And there's talk of having Justin Gabriel up as babyface star in WWE's main roster, possibly, you know, Matt Hardy. The feeling is that Gabriel doesn't do good on the microphone, and he needs a good partner who can speak, or a manager. WWE is giving Joe Hennig the name of Michael McGillicuddy. Come on, man, that was Lucille Ball's name. Well, I'm showing my age now. Anyway, on the new season of NXT, I don't know why they're doing that. That's terrible. Especially since they acknowledge him as the son of Kurt Hennig. I don't know. It's no secret that WWE likes complete control over their talent and names, but to give a guy, David Otunga, his real name on the roster and give Hennig this goofy name is kind of silly. There's talk of having Wayne Barrett and Chris Jericho team up and go after the unified titles. And there's been a lot of talk of having him face R-Truth or Kofi Kingston for their respective titles. I'm about 20 seconds left, so I only coughed one time this time, so I gotta go.